Honestly, this chapter, especially towards the end, it just gave me all them, oh, when she said, Eren, please come home finally, or some shit like that. I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Because Mikasa, she got pure love for Eren, and she got a little bit too much love sometimes, because she gets to that yandere point where she will kill a motherfucker just to be with Eren, or just because Eren's in trouble. She don't give a shit. She'll do whatever. So a little bit there, but she's definitely just like, ah, the new look was nice too. Is it just me, or does it feel as though the way we've had this narrative up until this point regarding the portion of the series that told the story of the point of view of the people that we were fighting against this entire time, it feels as though now we have this big switcheroo, and it's telling the tale of the perspective, or shall I say, the way things were of what happened to Eren's homeland, of what's happening to them now, what's happening with Eren, you know, attacking right in the middle. I think this is, in their perspective, the same thing of what happened when the Colossal Titan came and wrecked the walls and all the Titans came in. I think that that's what's happening in the eyes of these people, because again, they're both looking at each other like they're evil, and there's this people at the tippy or the top of it all that is making this shit happen, and right now they're like, holy shit, this guy's gonna kill everyone, we're all gonna die, this is terrorizing them, this is again their Colossal Titan attack in their homeland. That's what they feel as though this is, based on the way things are going. And it's crazy, honestly. Throughout the beginning of the chapter, at the very least, you see a lot of Eren kind of getting tossed around and falling into all the buildings, and the Warhammer Titan, which it's crazy because this Titan is insane. The way she's maneuvering and smacking him around, Eren was getting his ass lit the fuck up in that fight. Honestly, I was just like, holy shit. Now, a part of it I do think is because, if you remember at the end of the chapter, there was this big plot twist that Eren said, now Mikasa, and had the person, the Warhead Hammer person in sight, and they attacked. But at the same time, or Mikasa attacked, Mikasa went in, and oh my god, Mikasa. But before we get into that, it was just like, holy shit, did Eren get his ass kicked completely on purpose, or it was like he had to survive until he could get this person to this point? I don't think Eren purposely wanted to get destroyed to that point where he's sticking out. I think a part of it was that, but at the same time, it's like, well, how else would he have gotten out of there to say, go Mikasa? I guess there could have been another signal, like maybe he could have just put his arm up and started waving it or some shit. I don't know, but that's still kind of like, well, how much of that was on purpose, and how much of that was like, the Warhead Hammer Titan is one of the best Titan shifters, because it was just like, my gosh, Eren got wrecked. And you got to think too, this is not just the old Eren, this is Eren after a time skip, meaning a lot of training happened. Again, a big portion of it was indeed, you know, letting it happen, trying to lead them into, or lead the Warhammer Titan into the direction of this place where Mikasa and them could attack. But at the same time, it's like, holy shit, Eren got the living stuffing knocked out of him, if you know what I mean, with this fight against the Warhead Hammer Titan. And again, that was par for the course for the beginning of the chapter. There was a lot of other stuff, for example, seeing some of the smaller characters, even though they've been kind of major within this arc, but I believe it's Gabby and a bunch of the people that, again, like I said earlier in this video, that this is kind of like their Colossal Titan attack that happened early on in the series to the other people. This is their version of it. It's crazy to see a lot of them trying to survive as this is all going down, and they're running and they're scared, and everybody's like, what the hell's going on? I'm kind of curious how prepared Eren is, because again, if he's making this giant attack, and I probably should have theorized this with the last video, but if he's making this targeted attack, he better have everything set, because on top of all that, you got to realize how much balls he has. We pretty much had it revealed, but yet again, it's said in the chapter with Mikasa, when she says, come home, Eren, this motherfucker, who knows how long he's been here. He must have snuck here a while ago for Mikasa to be able to say that, and I'm kind of curious, did she recognize him? If not, then he's definitely been here way too long. But it was crazy to see that he's been by himself, sleeping in the enemy camp. He pretty much is doing exactly what they did, how they lived amongst them, and everything is damn near a repeat, which is kind of funny, because I just talked about this with Boruto, and I talked about this with Star Wars, and Attack on Titan in and of itself, without even a sequel, is doing it, where it's showing a different side of things, or the different perspective, or it's just remaking an arc in a different way. But either way, it's just kind of a little bit crazy. And again, the Warhead Hammer Titan versus Eren, when they animate this shit, this is going to be top tier, this is going to be one of the fights that people are going to be like, holy shit, because it was brutal. It was brutal. Maybe it was planned, but nevertheless, it was freaking brutal. And again, talking about the return of Mikasa, seems as though, again, this is a time where everybody's going to get their asses kicked. You got a lot more with the military, because you got to remember, there's also other aspects of the story that's not really present at the moment, but like in this chapter, you see the military people talking. They don't want Titans around, period. They probably, once they deal with the Titans and get it all back, they'll probably end up trying to find a way to flip on the Titans, because they don't want them to be in power no more. They're saying that the era of Titans being a major source of power is coming to an end, and they're gonna blow shit up, and they're gonna do whatever using military weapons, that they've advanced enough that Titans aren't shit. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they moving forward, especially if they have an opportunity to kind of clash within themselves. They're gonna go hard, and it's gonna be weird to see eventually their own people become traitors when it's time to kill them or put them down or whatever the case may be. But besides the point, honestly, this chapter, especially towards the end, it just gave me all them when she said, Eren, please come home finally, or some shit like that. I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Because Mikasa, she got pure love for Eren, and she got a little bit too much love sometimes, because she gets to that yandere point where she will kill a motherfucker just to be with Eren, or just because Eren's in trouble. She don't give a shit. She'll do whatever. So a little bit there, but she's definitely just like, the new look was nice too. Again, the anime is going to handle it differently, because the manga does look quite a bit different than the anime, or the anime does look different because, you know, the anime is the thing adapting from the materials. Like, the anime looks way different than the manga in this particular case with Attack on Titan. So it's going to be interesting to see what Mikasa looks like in the anime. But again, as a whole, great chapter. I'm giving this chapter a 9 out of 10. I love seeing the return of Mikasa. I love the progression to the point where we're at. The fight with the Warhead Hammer versus Eren. Eren getting wrecked all around, and then seeing once again how much he's developed. Like, holy shit, this is development to the max. When he can strategize this far ahead, Eren has changed a lot in the however many years it's been since we had the time skip. But we had 3 years, and then 2 years, or 3 years, and I don't even remember. It's been many years since the end of that big climactic fight against the Gorilla Titan and all that shit. So it's been a while. Eren has become an incredible strategist. Yet again, this chapter showcasing, like, it just is a matter of how strong is the Warhead Hammer Titan, and how much of that was bullshit, and Eren was just playing it off to get him to that point to rip his head off. And I'm kind of curious what you guys think about a lot of different aspects, again, of this chapter. For starters, I'm kind of curious what you guys think about the return of Mikasa. How long do you think Eren has been gone for? I mean, it's not that he immediately snuck over there. I would imagine it happened over time. He had to figure out a way to sneak over there, and a lot of different aspects went into him kind of maneuvering into this camp in this world that they've been in. So kind of curious what you guys think, how long he's been there. Also, what do you think about Mikasa's return? And seemingly everybody's going to start returning soon. It's like, what do you think about slowly but surely it's going that way? Also, again, your thoughts on this retelling in a way of the beginning, just from the different perspective of like, okay, these are these people, how they look at us in the same realm, and what we're doing right now is the same. And it kind of makes you look at Eren in a way like, maybe that's why you've kind of learned a little bit, because at the end of the day, you are putting them through a lot of grief and stress, especially some of these innocent people. I mean, you looked at the Warhead Hammer Titan, or the Warhammer Titan, whatever the heck you call her, and she looked like she didn't even really want to fight. So you definitely see it's crazy. And then you got the military that just wants to eradicate Titans in general. All of it absolutely insane. Attack on Titan chapter 101, Eren versus the Warhammer Titan, insane. All of it just crazy. I know I said that a billion times, but it was a damn good chapter. And just the overall thoughts of Attack on Titan. Again, we had that big video where we talked about everything that led up until this point, but I mean, this chapter, it was just like, I can't believe we've gotten this far and how crazy it is. And I mean, I guess to a certain degree, I also got a question, how much are we going to care? Like when I saw Gabby and them struggling, it's like we had about closer to a year of chapters to care about these characters. I don't really care about them like that, to be honest with you. I'm not the biggest fan of them. So when shit gets even worse and we start to get more depths, and I think we're going to see depths on this side, that's going to kind of drive these characters to fight their hardest against Eren and them. Kind of curious how we're going to feel when the time comes that somebody like Gabby is going to die, or any of the other kids that have been coming up in this little story that Isayama added, you know, from the different perspective of the enemy fighters. So again, interesting stuff there. Attack on Titan chapter 101, it keeps on being great. 9 out of 10. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day.